I just bought this Fender Rhodes, and it's kind of weird. Alrighty, so here we have Fender Rhodes Mark I stage piano, 73 key from the 1970s. And as you can probably tell, it's been pretty heavily modified. So for a quick backstory on it, the other day I was on Facebook Marketplace just scrolling through listings, and I came across this listing for a Rhodes. The description was very detailed about everything that had been done to it, what wasn't working, what was working, and how it was kind of a 4 parts of repair piece. So I decided to take the risk and go pick it up, as I've always wanted to have a Rhodes to record with when I'm making my own music or just working with other musicians. And so drove about an hour, met this dude Mike, really nice guy, was very informative on everything he did to it since he did all the modifications. And he was telling me how he actually got it from a school about 20 years ago, and it was completely destroyed. The whole lid was cracked, the whole side, the Tolex had been ripped off and picked that from the school kids or whatever. And so he decided that he was going to start taking it out and playing shows with it, and built this custom housing for it. So as you probably saw before, oh, it's locked right now. It's made of plywood. He did it all himself, the whole outside and bottom part. Yeah, and he also made the top flat and put this rubber padding on it so you could put another keyboard on top of it, which is pretty useful when you're playing live, so you don't need the keyboard stand. But the goal for this project is to restore it and make it fully functional, since there's a bunch of missing parts and things that just need to be tuned up for a piano from the 70s. Alright, so as you can see in the previous clip, the Rhodes does make sound. The sustain pedal does work. So that's a good start. We know that whole mechanism seems to be functioning correctly, and most of the notes are playing. While just going across it, did notice a few notes that weren't working. Right there. That E, ain't getting any sound out of it. But there is a hammer, it is moving. So not sure what's going on there. And then this D right here, that one's also not making any sound. Again, it does have a hammer. There are parts moving. We'll have to look into that. The highest ones, really hard to hear. Some weird overtones. So we'll have to look into what's going on there. And then pretty obvious, 2 lowest keys are just sitting there flat, and when you take a closer look in there, they're missing the hammers. So I'll do a quick close-up on that. Alright, so here's a quick close-up on the inside of the Rhodes, and quickly I'll just go over how the mechanism works. So over here, when you press a key, you see right there moving, there's a plastic hammer with a rubber tip. And then at the same time that you're pressing that, if you look at the little felt part, the damper moves away from the tine, which is this little metal part right here. And then the piano makes sound by the hammer striking the tine. And then to stop it, the damper just goes back on the string. So now if we take a closer look, for the 2 lowest ones, they're completely gone. There's just no hammers in there. So if you look, the tines are there, the dampers are there. So those parts will need to be ordered. Going further down, with that first E note that wasn't working, if you look, the hammer is moving, the damper is not, and it's also not hitting the tine. So when we open that up, That'll be a problem to address. This one's pretty obvious. If you look, all the parts are moving, but there's no tine. It's just gone. So I will have to order a replacement part for that D. And then finally, up here in the higher ones, the pickups are missing. So as you can tell, each single note has its own little copper coil for a pickup. Top 4, none. The other parts are in there. So there is the hammer, the dampener, and the tines are all there. Looks like one of the dampers fell off and is also in there, so I'm going to be careful to not hit those keys because I don't want to damage any of the parts. But yeah, those are the first things that I've noticed that need to be done to this Rhodes. Alright, well thanks for tuning in for the first video in our series of repairing this Fender Rhodes. So don't forget to like and subscribe and comment your favorite song that features a Fender Rhodes on it.